Hi, today I wanted to talk about basically coming to terms with being a Christian and completely being proud of it and not being ashamed of it and really owning it. And I've actually noticed it is something quite difficult to do, especially as a new Christian because your whole life people have never perceived you as a religious person, let alone a Christian person. So I think it requires a bit of coming out and almost like justification and the why and explanation. And I'm completely fine sharing my testimony, obviously. But I think it's sometimes difficult, especially in society where often we are told to keep those things private. Like religion, like politics, I guess, are really topics like you should not really bring up. This will cause conflicts in a conversation. So just better to keep it private for home and not talk about it because it's gonna divide so many people, it's gonna create tension, so better not bring it up. But then there is the struggle, like people don't really want you to bring up, but you want to bring up because you are so passionate about it. You want to spread the good news, this great thing that has happened to you. And I think it's also your duty, right? To spread the good news and not to be ashamed of it. For example, in the Bible, it's mentioned many times, to go spread the good news and not be ashamed. For example, in Luke 9, if anyone is ashamed of me and my message, the Son of Man will be ashamed of that person when he returns to his glory. So Jesus is really telling us to not be ashamed, to really be proud and to talk about it. Because if we are ashamed, he will be ashamed of us, right? So it's really about not keeping it for ourselves here. It's really about spreading the good news, not keeping it private. And it's funny to see how the society has somehow managed to make it so that we would keep our faith private. And as a new Christian, I really experienced that because, as I said, it's something that people don't know about you. It really feels like a coming out and something somehow you need to be accepted for. Like with so many people, I'm a bit hesitant to say it because I don't know if our friendships will survive. And I know that I should not be worried about that because if our friendship doesn't survive this, it means that anyway, they don't truly love me and accept me for who I am. But yeah, it feels difficult to bring it up with some people. And that's something I'm still struggling with and working with. So let me know if you experience something similar as a new Christian. Kind of this difficulty maybe sometimes to bring up your newly found faith in Jesus, and that sometimes you feel it's difficult because people don't want to hear those things, especially if you have not been religious like Christian for most of your life, and then suddenly this happens, and then suddenly you are the religious person in the room, if you know what I mean, and wanting to spread the good news, and then you might face people who don't want to bring up those topics. So yeah, just let me know. Have a great day. God bless.